My name's Mandy and I was born visually impaired due to a condition called ocular cutaneous albinism, which basically means I've got no pigment in my hair, skin or eyes. It's also associated with nystagmus, which is involuntary movement of the eyes. I've got very poor depth perception, so I can't judge the height of steps, speed and distance of traffic or people or objects. I guess I thought my life was okay. I'd constructed a life that was full of constraints and conditions and was really quite small and limited, so that my visual impairment didn't become an issue. So I didn't really tell people about it until I had to. I was open about it in that I was visually impaired, but I don't think I realised how much it affected me until now. I know just how small it all was really and restricted. So before I had Fable, I like to call it BF, before Fable, I didn't really walk anywhere on my own. I had one route that I would do to the gym that was a familiar route. Other than that, I would rely on friends and family or taxis to pick me up and drive me everywhere. I didn't really enjoy spending a lot of time outside. I didn't do much walking. Walking was quite hard work and quite stressful because I had to concentrate so hard on not walking into things, falling over, getting run over, all of those things. I didn't really enjoy it. Whereas now I enjoy going out. I can choose to go out. I've got choices. Come. So how did I go about getting her? I'm not sure why I chose to phone guide dogs when I did really in December 2014. I'd had a bit of an incident with someone throwing some liquid on me out of a car window, and I think it had made me realise that life was really stressful, just getting from A to B and then adding in that as well. They were lovely and didn't make me think that I was wasting anyone's time, which was part of my worry because I do have some functional vision. And I guess I thought what everyone else did really, that you had to be registered blind and see nothing to make good use of a guide dog, which I now know isn't the case. And there's a lot of guide dog owners with lots of a decent amount of functional vision that it does add to their quality of life as well. They came and did an assessment in January, watched me do my route to the gym and back, and again made me realise that all the stress I was feeling wasn't in my head. She said to me that I'd had so many near misses with pedestrians and street furniture and stuff that I hadn't even realised. So I guess it underpinned the stress that I was feeling walking around. I was really lucky. I had a phone call in June from the Reading mobility team. So Fable wasn't a local dog, she was out of area. They said, we've got a possible match for you. She's a black Labrador called Fable. She's fast and needs a firm hand, and we thought of you. I'm not quite sure what that says about me. So we started our training in July 2015, and it's 4 weeks of intensive training. So I had 4 weeks of work. Fable arrived with enough paraphernalia to keep her alive for 24 hours. I'd never had a dog before, so I had no idea what I was doing. And then training started the next day and it was brilliant. I had a great time. I quite like learning new things, and I think that's an ongoing process with a guide dog as well. My guide dog mobility instructor was brilliant. She didn't ever let us settle for average. She kept pushing us out of our comfort zone. And we qualified on the 29th of July 2015, so just over a year ago now. I likened using the harness and walking with her to linking arms with a friend. So it just felt you had that kind of stability and someone else looking out for you almost instantly. It has probably been, I would say, the hardest but best thing I've ever done. There are ups and downs, tears, laughter, good days, bad days. Guide dogs has been fantastic right from the beginning. They suggested after my first assessment that I should try to use a long cane. I'd resisted that for my 40 years because I didn't want there to be a symbol of my disability and for it to be the first thing that people saw. But with their support I managed to conquer that, and I learnt to use a long cane, which now gives me options. So if Fable's not able to work or the situation's not the most appropriate for her, then I have the option of a long cane as well. They have continued to support me throughout the year, my first year as being a new guide dog owner, and I'm sure there have been many phone calls where I've been looking for reassurance if nothing else, and they've been brilliant and always been there. So life now with Fable is more exciting and rewarding and amazing than I ever thought possible. I don't think I realised how small and restricted life was. So now I have choices. I can go out when I want to, I don't have to wait for people to pick me up. I have been on a bus for the first time on my own. I suddenly realised one day when I was chatting to someone on the bus that I'd never been on a bus on my own before. We have been away for a weekend somewhere new, stayed in a hotel on my own. I've now got opportunities for work as well, so before I would have ruled out any jobs that involved any travel because I simply wouldn't have been able to do it, and I have just been able to secure a secondment in a job that is going to give me an amazing opportunity to develop the NHS workforce of the future. That's all thanks to Fable and guide dogs.
My name's Danielle Thomas. I am now 23 years old and I have got Nisha the guide dog. Nisha is now 6. She's a pure lab and I've had Nisha for about 5 years now. So the condition's extremely rare. I've got Leber's inhibitory optic neuropathy. It leaves you with peripheral vision, so it just leaves you almost quite cloudy and patchy on your central vision. I've not always been visually impaired. I've had a normal life, as we say, and my dream and ambition was to become a chef. I had got my first time paid job. I was also starting to learn to drive. I had a big friendship group with my colleagues at work and also at college. But unfortunately, coming 3/4 of the year, I still remember the date, it was 20th of April, I actually experienced my sight loss. I actually woke up overnight, so in the morning my eyes were quite blurry. So we actually then went off to the opticians because I just thought it was a case of a really strong pair of glasses. So off we went and they just said, yes, you've got a really bad problem here, you've definitely got something wrong with your eyes. And I actually managed to get an appointment the next day at the hospital. And I remember getting called and I was in a very dark room. With the normal eye charts, I had to try and see what was on the eye charts, and I instantly said, I can't see any letters on the chart. So in the end she made me then walk towards the wall until you could see them, and I actually in fact walked into the wall because I couldn't see anything there. Later on I actually then got admitted to hospital. All of these tests and had the lumbar punctures, MRI scans. By this point I was poked and prodded and still no answers. No one knew what on earth it could be. It was hard for Dad because he's a mechanic, he likes fixing things and he felt he couldn't fix me. And in the end I actually got admitted to Southampton General Hospital, and that was for a good 3-4 weeks. I actually had quite a scary procedure called plasma exchange. So I was in intensive care for a week, and they were hoping that was actually going to get my vision back. By coming to the couple of days it was working. At the end of the week doing the eye test it wasn't successful. So that's it, I'm going to be blind now for the rest of my life. In that point it was quite a hard time trying to adapt into everything because I was still trying to learn about my own visual impairment. I had to then leave my job. I lost all friendship groups, no more driving, so I kept having all these knockbacks and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? So again, the key worker was trying to help me, try and get back and help me all with these things. First day he arrived, he gave me a cane. I didn't want to use it. As I said, I'm a 17-year-old girl, why should I have to use my cane? But I had to. I remember dragging it along the road, head down, didn't want to use it, and a few into our appointments together, I had a light bulb moment and I went, I can have a guide dog. I knew then, right, this is my goal and focus. I had nothing else, so I was like, right, this is my aim. I then got my appointment or my assessment to say whether I was going to go on the list. But I actually got told I wasn't quite ready, which of course did knock me back a little. I then had another assessment to then see whether I could go back on the list. This was about Christmas time and it was a long day at the Southampton Centre. As soon as I walked in, I was like, Mum, I'm so ready for this. There was just dogs everywhere and I was like, I want that little white dog there. It was a bit of a challenge because I was matched up with this massive dog and I said, Mum, we may as well go home now. And we got back after the centre, so I was then told I was going to be put on the list. I only waited about 2 months And it was funny, I got the call and I got told I actually got the dog. That little white one in the pen, we go off then for training. So 2 weeks at the Southampton hotel, very, very intense, really, really hard. I remember crying going in and we cried going out. But no, it was a really good experience. We qualified, and I also found out when I was then qualified with Nisha, I was actually the youngest guide dog owner at the time. And before having Nisha, I completely lost my confidence and independence. But since then, having Nisha, she's really definitely boosted my confidence and independence. We've ended up going back to college to redo some of our GCSEs, which we finally passed 3 times maths. I blame Nisha, because she used to always sleep. I then knew what I was going to be able to do as a career in my life. I went ahead and wanted to then also help and enable other visually impaired people who may have been in my position, who've lost vision overnight or gradually, and be a rehab worker and give them the support that I didn't have. And I got my place at Birmingham City University to do the degree in rehabilitation work for visually impaired people. We've then heard about the guide dog group Portsmouth Fundraising Support Group. We've now then become the organiser for the branch, and it's been a really nice active group, gone involved in lots of events to try and get as much awareness and try and raise as much money as we can, because each working guide dog, it comes to the total of £50,000, and we receive no donations from the government. It's all done by public donations. So that's why I really got involved with the guide dog group, because how much support I got given, I really want to then give something back.
Guide dogs are 85 years this year. If you did feel as if it was something you wanted to do and join Portsmouth Guide Dogs, that would be fantastic. And also come and join us. If you follow our Facebook page and our website, you'll see that there's all sorts of social events that go on throughout the year, which are really, really good fun, as well as raising crucial funds for such important, life-changing service.